I'm a big Robocop fan when I was a kid, but now I'm an adult, so I'm not sure if I like it or not. Why the graphics look old? Wow.
Over 35 years since he
Violent.
first stomped the streets of Detroit, Robocop returns to the front line.
What, did he get shot in the nutsack? What happened?
Your move, creep.
Okay.
Taeyong, the studio behind Terminator Resistance and Rambo the video game,
Okay, who is playing,
primed
guys?
for its most ambitious 80s action
Yo, why did he punch these people and they just fly away? I buy everything on discount from nursery rhyme.
movie revival yet. Set between the
Okay.
events of Robocop 2
Wait, why does they make it look? They make it look like a horror movie. Is it?
and
I mean,
3,
horror
with
game.
Peter Weller
Is it a horror
reprising
game?
his iconic role, Robocop Rogue City takes us back
Wait, is this it? Huh. What do you guys think of the graphics? It looks a little bit old. I don't know, compared to like Street Fighter 6, which is like a new game, right?
to
This
old
one looks a
Detroit
bit...
once again to clean up the streets, promising familiar faces, a huge helping of explosive violence,
Wow.
and the franchise's gloriously
Yeah, it looks kind of old actually for me. The graphics, right? I'm not sure if it is on PS4 you will play. You're gonna play Robocop.
stilted, cheesy
Wow.
humor.
Allowing dealers to steal
Graphics
from
look
each
good.
other may result in less
It's not
drugs
bad,
and
but it just feels old, right?
That would suck.
I would say this is like a 20...
Rogue City is a bloody
I would say this is 2019 graphics if I were to have to
first-person
say,
shooter
right?
that takes us on an authentic
PS2
trip to Alex
graphic.
Murphy's old haunts to chase a new threat.
Okay, but what makes this game unique though? Rogue City. Okay, I like the gun.
Rogue City opens with a now familiar
Wow.
satirical news segment, which is interrupted by a gang of punky thugs.
Of course, it's all
dubbed
about
the
fighting
Torchheads.
gangsters.
This band of
PS2
criminals is heavily
graphics.
tied to Nuke, the highly addictive
Wow.
narcotic from Robocop 2, and they proceed
Oh,
to
it's-
take the
it's
Channel
for the
9
mo-
news
from
team
the movie, is
hostage.
it?
Enter Detroit's shiny Robocop and his partner,
2017
Agent
graphic,
Ann
yeah.
Lewis, who are called to quell the disturbance and hunt down the gang's leader.
Wait,
This being-
is that girl his partner? I don't remember. Oh man, it's been so long since I watched the movie, right? I think Robocop does have a partner, right? Is his name Murphy or something?
Robocop,
I'm trying to
restoring peace
remember.
is done with little
It's all
subtlety.
coming back
Armed with
together.
his legendary Auto 9, Robocop
Environments
trudges
looks nice.
methodically through the building, popping enemy skulls with each
Wow.
well-aimed shot. Despite his slow, tank-like movement, I've never played an FPS
Robocop,
with a protagonist as slow and deliberate as Robocop, and it took some time to
Okay.
adjust. He feels practically indestructible. He's so heavily
is
armored, he doesn't
pretty-
need to hide behind cover. He
It
just soaks
looks
up
really violent though, the way they do it, right? Like every time you shoot, there's blood splattering everywhere.
bullets like a sponge.
Some people
And
might
if
like
he
that, I
runs low
guess.
on ammo, no problem.
But if I really want that, like if I really want this kind of like violent like action style, I think I will play Doom, right? Because Doom has something similar as well, I think.
Just walk up to the nearest criminal and
His
punch a
partner
hole in
and-
his face. As such, Rogue City immediately
Other
makes you
characters
feel
look
like
stiff.
a boss-level threat, and none of its early enemies really stood a chance
Okay, that's
against me on
interesting.
normal
That
difficulty.
thing just,
Robocop can
hit the
neutralize a
guy,
room
right?
Full of enemies within
The
seconds,
fire
and
extinguisher.
thanks to his scanning abilities, you can
So you can
sweep
take
and clear
advantage
the
of
surroundings
the
with ease.
surrounding.
While this combat loop was satisfying for a
Robocop
couple
is
of hours,
violent.
I do question the longevity
I'm trying to
of it
remember
all.
if-
Robocop will only
was
get
it
more
violent or was
powerful
it
as the
PG?
game progresses, and in the brief time I had with the demo, I didn't face a single enemy.
Oh,
that
this is a
posed
demo, is
real
it? Okay.
threat. So where does the challenge come from? Hopefully that will become apparent when we spend more
Is there
time with Rogue
bosses?
City.
That gun is like...
After a fiery
I don't think I've seen a gun like that. It's a handgun, but it's like a machine gun?
first meeting with the Torchheads,
It doesn't shoot
I
like
got
a handgun
brief
at
look
all.
At how Rogue City
a
will tackle
multi-bullet.
Robocop's other duties,
Edgy
alongside
game.
fights to the death with the main gang. You
Edgy
take on
game.
investigative objectives to poke around for clues at crime scenes and make arrests. Robocop has no reservations about taking out hostile foes.
I'm trying
in
to
one
understand what
fell
kind of
swoop,
game
but
is it.
some
Is
of
it like
Rogue City's
RPG
side quests
style?
have him restoring order by more peaceful
You have to do
means.
quests for
In one case,
NPCs,
I
is
could
it?
choose a non-threatening
Feels like that's
dialogue
how it
option
is.
to convince a suspect to part with valuable information about their
So you
whereabouts
do
of a drug
quests
dealer,
for-
rather than making him
Why is his face like that?
So
Ugh.
violence isn't the only route you can take when
Okay.
chasing leads. In another side quest, my main contribution was simply carrying a drunk perp to a cell as a favor to another police officer. Furthermore, public
Nice.
trust is earned by interacting with
Does a
Detroit's
Robocop had a
inhabitants,
hand
and
cannon?
there's a skill tree option
I
that allows you to open up
can't remember.
new dialogue
I think he
choices
has-
to
yeah, he
aid
has
in your
multiple
investigations.
weapons.
Detroit itself feels like a city.
I don't think
in
Robocop
distress.
can be Game
The
of the Year
disheveled
golem.
buildings and grimy
Yeah, I don't think it
streets
was
are
meant to
ripped
beat those
straight from the movies.
that game.
And the delinquents that lurk on street corners are more than just set dressing. Listen closely
Wow.
enough, and you'll pick up splinters of conversations that, when you piece them
Open
together,
world.
may provide
Wow.
clues about where to lead the investigation next.
Is it
or
open
open
world?
up new side objectives. Rogue City is built in Unreal Engine 5, and despite a few frame drops and glitches in the preview build,
Wait, this is Unreal Engine 5? It doesn't look nice at all. No, wait, Unreal Engine 5 is the latest one, right? When I look at this game, it looks more like Unreal Engine 4 or 3. I don't know.
Alleyways and neon-soaked shop fronts look slick
I
and
thought Unreal
detailed.
Engine 5 is supposed to be like
himself looks fantastic
very nice.
too. Teon has taken great care to recreating every grill and compartment on
Robocop's
his
gun
suit,
is called
and the city
Auto
lights
9.
gleam on his armor when you stop to talk to other
Unreal Engine
characters,
5.5.
even if there are moments where the lighting doesn't quite hit right. Noticeable camera
Yeah, you
shake
can
and the
see
heavy
right there.
thud of Robocop's footsteps made me feel like a hefty tank when I was stomping through the streets.
Place looks deserted.
Unreal Engine 5 can scale.
Your friend didn't mix up the venue?
He is
It
the
can
type who
scale
likes to
lower,
mix
is it?
things up. We shall have to see.
Yeah, maybe they have to make it like not so pretty so that it can also be used on some older consoles, right? I think it makes sense because like developers always make games for multiple platforms.
Fans will immediately recognize other returning characters like Anne Lewis.
Not everybody
but the
has a
majority of
PC,
character
so
models aren't anywhere near as realistic as Robocop.
can't afford high-end
The
PC to
Torch Heads
test
have a
the game.
selection of different hairstyles and outfits to differentiate them, but you won't be paying much attention to their attire when you're caught in a firefight anyway.
Yeah, the
This
Unreal Engine
Rogue
5
City is a
test that
grubby
I've
and
seen
authentic
looks
step
way
into
nicer.
Paul Verhoeven's dystopian Detroit, and it springs to life on your patrols. Between quests, you can use RoboVision to scan for
Wow.
nearby misdemeanors like traffic violations and disorderly conduct to ensure you clean
The
up every
story.
nook and cranny of the
Okay.
city as you go.
So won't
You know
have
what?
plot problems.
If you really think you'll find evidence of that SUX ever being here, then be my guest.
Although Robocop is still
Look, the voice is not even matching, man. Look.
You know what? If you really think you'll find evidence of that SUX ever being here, then be my guest.
I mean, it's
Although
not bad,
Robocop
right?
is
There's a bit
still
of
bound by
the
his
lips is
prime
moving
directives, I
somehow
enjoyed
according to
occasions I
the
was able to work
to the
around
voice.
them to suit the kind of Robocop I wanted
it's like,
to
could-
be.
could be
One
better, I
side
feel like.
quest had me handling complaints at the police station.
If it's
where
too
I had
real,
the
it will
chance to
create
decide
drama,
whether to
really?
side with the individual or issue a ticket. In situations where things can turn
The
violent,
environment
players
looks
will
okay, but why do the
sometimes have
NPC models
option
look like
to
they
take a
were
pacifist
recycled
approach.
from Mass
There's
Effect
certainly
Andromeda?
room for empathy
Yeah,
in
it
your
does feel like an
interactions with the
old...
people in Detroit, and
The
keeping
NPC
them
looks-
happy will increase your
looks like an
public
old
trust
game.
score. Nonetheless, in the few investigations I've conducted so far, I was still
Like,
met with
especially for
plenty
their
of
facial
opportunities to
movements, their
exercise
lips.
Robocop's silly humor.
I thought
and
Unreal Engine
sometimes that
5
means
can be-
being a
can
little
do way
heavy-handed.
better.
For example, during one quest, I had the chance to utter a stiff one-liner before smashing up someone's radio because it was too loud. Was this unnecessary? Definitely. But justice
Okay.
was served.
That part looks nice.
You need to be taught.
Yeah, the environment actually looks nice.
Robocop starts with a few base
The
abilities,
lighting
including
and
night vision,
the
a shockwave that
environment,
mimics a
the
flashbang,
buildings,
and the option to temporarily slow down time to
the
clear
so-called,
a room
fire
quicker.
effects
Aiming
and
down
stuff,
sights
everything
scans
looks
the
okay.
surroundings to highlight nearby enemies to make
It's
them
more like the
easier to
character
spot,
models,
and
yeah.
you can also
I don't know
move
why
faster, shifting
they
from a
skim
slow,
out on that.
deliberate stomp to a heavy, brisk walk. Additionally, these abilities can be upgraded to improve their effectiveness and in some cases
run,
turn them
run,
lethal.
run.
For example, continuing to invest points in the combat branch of the skill tree eventually buffs Robo's shockwave to instantly kill enemies.
Okay,
whereas
you can
sticking with
just-
armor upgrades his suit
based on
so
what
it
I'm seeing, you
deflects
can just,
bullets to
like,
damage enemies.
blow through.
Robocop's potent primary weapon,
You can tank-
the
you can
Auto
face
9,
tank
has
through
its
everything.
own tab of upgrades that are unlocked throughout the game's
Unreal
20
Engine
to
0.5.
30-hour campaign. But I didn't get to see any of these
Nike.
enhancements in action. Players can
No, it's
also
just
pick up
NKE.
firearms dropped by the city's lawbreakers and use them for a limited time. However, I typically stuck with the Auto 9 due to its reliability
cannot run
and
upstairs?
unlimited ammo. There are also
I don't know, he
exploding
moves-
barrels,
he does move
FD
very slow in the-
monitors,
in the
and more
movie
to
as
fling
well.
around
I
Rogue
remember.
City's destructible environments, all of which work
Throw-
well as makeshift grenades.
Oh,
I
that's
only encountered
nice.
human enemies during the demo, a couple of whom wore helmets for extra protection, and some that carried
Wow.
exploding barrels. But more recognizable enemies include an ED-209 who featured in the trailer,
Oh,
won't
is that-
appear until later in the game. There's
Oh,
no escaping
okay.
Robocop's trigger-happy approach, and
Robocop
nor would you
become
want
One
to,
Punch
but
Man.
ultimately, he's still a police
Yeah,
officer
he become One
instated
Punch
to
Man.
uphold the law. As such, there are several skills that build on Robo's eagle eye and lightning speed processing powers, which come in handy when you're
Okay, I have an issue with the game. Why is it only at night?
searching for clues. Some objects
Like, why is it
and
not daytime?
indeed
At
people
least
can be
one.
scanned to get more information.
But
during
this
an
guy did say that he's
investigation.
playing the
There are also
trial or
instances where you
demo.
need to pause and collect
So
a
maybe it's only
specific
like
number of clues
nighttime
to
for now.
analyze crime scenes. This is where Robo's deduction and engineering skills shine.
Is there no-
Deduction
Whoa,
provides
whoa,
enhanced
whoa,
scanning
whoa.
abilities, which help you detect more
Oh,
useful information
she's
such
dead.
as safe combinations.
Somebody
Then, if
shot
you've
her in
leveled
the
up your
head.
engineering skills enough,
Okay,
you
that's
can crack
brutal.
open the safes themselves. Arguably, the most interesting side of Robocop is his psychology branch, which leans into the game's choice
ED209.
system. Invest in
Because if
enough
the game
in
was in the
skills
morning, it
doubles
would
your
look
public
ugly.
trust points and later lets
You
you
could be
predict
right.
the consequences of certain dialogue
But I
choices.
would like
According
a
to the developer,
different
the decisions
environment,
you make
right?
throughout the game will impact Rogue City's ending, although we're not sure to what extent
Just like in
yet.
Gotham,
Rogue
crimes only
City's
happen
game
at night in
director
Detroit.
says that some choices will determine which
I
side
don't know, I feel like it would be
characters
nice to
live or
look it
die, but
at
we'll have
date
to wait to see how much of
to
an
enjoy the
impact this
graphics
has
during
on the
day as
story.
well.
Your choices also have consequences that may surface sooner than
People
that.
can rob
These
banks
can be
during the day, you
almost
know?
immediate, such as coaxing out information that provides a lead in a case, to more subtle ripples later on. For example, letting a kid off with a warning for graffiti.
You know what it reminds me of? The more I look at this game, the graphics, I think it reminds me a bit of Hitman graphics. I forgot which Hitman, but maybe the most recent one, Hitman 3, is it?
And may lead to you getting a favorable mention scrawled on a city wall down the line, opposed to something hostile.
Except for Hitman,
One
it's
thing
like
that
usually
Rogue
during the
City
day.
doesn't shy away from is Robocop's flashbacks to his life as Alex Murphy. This
Okay.
surfaces almost immediately as
Yeah,
an
this part-
ongoing malfunction, and it's something OCP is eager to fix. This side
19
of Robocop is clumsily
Yo, the first Robocop is 1987.
handled in the movies and never truly reaches a satisfying resolution by the end of the second film.
Okay.
But the game's developer assured me that this
All
will
the
be an
graphics went
important
to
part of Rogue
Robocop's
City's story.
lips.
Combined with the dialogue options and decisions
New
players
Hitman
can
has
make,
better models?
I'm keen to see how Teon dives
Is
into
it?
the lingering
Maybe the one
human
that I play is the
fragments
older
in
Hitman.
Robocop's memories, and whether they'll have a more meaningful impact on the story this time around. Overall, Rogue City has the makings of a faithful homecoming for Robocop fans.
I don't
the
feel this
demo
one, man.
immediately nails the franchise's
I don't think I would
exaggerated
I would play
badass
this
tone, and it's
based on what
pumped
I'm
to the
seeing,
gills
right?
with humor, violence, and all of the movie's callbacks you'd hope for. However, I'm curious to see how Teon plans to maintain Robocop's momentum to keep combat feeling fresh and
Unless you are
introduce
really a
more of
Robocop
challenge
fan-
as
Robocop
players
fan.
unlock new abilities and upgrades. I've only played through Rogue City's opening missions and didn't have a chance to test the game on different difficulties, but I was a
Okay.
bit disappointed that I didn't get to see a wider variety of enemies or face a real threat that forced me to use
Yeah.
Robocop's full set
That's what
of
I thought as
tools.
well.
While some of Robocop's abilities sound promising, it's difficult to predict how much of an impact they'll have on the game's
walk around
combat
and just
loop
one
without
punch
trying
everyone.
them against tougher enemies. After recently watching the movies, I was excited to step into the shoes of a powerful action
Like,
hero
if this
and
game is like
tear
a
through
full price
Detroit.
game like Street Fighter
Robocop
6, like
certainly
$60,
feels
I wouldn't
capable
buy
of doing
this.
so, but I'm concerned that
I wouldn't pay
simply
$60 for
bulldozing through
this.
enemies will lose its appeal.
That's just my
quickly.
personal,
I'm also intrigued by the idea
opinion
of
and
seeing
personal
more of
preference based on what I
Robocop's
see, of
interactions
course,
with
right?
other police officers and the public. But as of now, it's too early to be sure how deep Rogue City's choice
not even out
system
yet, is it?
really goes. For more on Robocop Rogue City, check out the latest trailer, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
Wow. Any Robocop fans? Any Robocop fans, guys? Alright, this is the latest Robocop. It's called Robocop Rogue City. Okay, let me link it to you guys since we just reacted, so you guys gotta watch it again. Alright, make sure you guys watch it again, alright? This is just a demo. Yeah, I guess anyone can play the demo, eh? Alright. That's cool, that's cool.